And let me say good afternoon to everyone. And I'm joined today by several council members, Councilmember Shabazz, Councilmember Thomas, Councilmember Pollard, Councilmember Cisneros. Did I miss out any? Did I miss anyone? I think I everybody. Okay. Um, and I'm also joined today by Clay Hicks, President of the Houston Apartment Association, Donna Carney with Lone Star Legal Aid, Councilmember Tiffany Thomas that you'll hear from shortly, and Tom McCaslin, Director of Housing and Community Development, and a member of the Housing Stability Task Force. I want to begin today COVID-19 with today's numbers on COVID-19 from the Houston Health Department, but they are not connected necessarily to the announcement that we'll be making right now. The Houston Health Department reports 1,554 new cases. That's 1,554 new cases of COVID-19 today, bringing Houston's total number to 46,969. Sadly, we are adding 18. That is a record for us because the previous number had been 16. So sadly, we are adding 18 newly reported deaths, bringing the city's total to 450. Each death is listed on the screens next to the stage. It certainly does become a problem when it takes too much time to go through each and every one of them. And so please take a look. There are 18. Let me remind everyone that each one of these persons connected to families, family members, friends, relatives whose lives have been forever changed. And to point out again the significance of where we are. In the last 3 days, I don't know if we have the additional charts of what has taken place over the last several months. If we have them, if you will bring them up. And I think that reflects the number of deaths that have taken place in our city per month. Of course, in March we started off. There were 4 deaths in the month of March, and then you go all the way over to June. There was 95. In July, and this represents the last day of July, that number is now 216, and that's 216 persons who have lost their lives in the month of July, and we have had a total of 450 people throughout the entire 6 months. Throughout the entire 6 months, 450 people who have lost their lives. In the month of July, we have lost nearly half of that number, 216 who have lost their lives in the month of July alone. If you go back to the previous chart that shows the number of positive cases in the city of Houston, I want to highlight something. In the month of March, it was 377. If you look at the month of May, that number was roughly 3,700. In the month of July, that number, and I can't see it, what is that number in July? It's 26,000. But the point I want to emphasize, in the last 3 days, when you count the number of roughly 1,500 today, 1,300 on yesterday, that's 2,800, and 1,000 the day before, that's 3,800. In the last 3 days, more people have been reported testing positive than in the entire month of May combined, in the last 3 days of July. And the point that I want to make to Houstonians is that this virus is still moving rampant within our community. And it is very important as we move into August that we are acting with the greatest degree of intentionality in terms of doing everything we can to slow down the spread of this virus. And not only to slow it down, but to really crush it and to really bring it down dramatically in the month of August. We cannot go into August, and the numbers in August are greater than the numbers in July, and then talk about going to school in September. Irrespective and with all due respect to the State Attorney General, with all due respect, There is no way under the sun I will allow even my child to go to a school if these numbers are the same or greater by the end of August. I think I have to exercise enough sense to know I'm not going to send my child into a building that I know where there's a serious risk of contracting this virus. These numbers must come down. So again, this message as we proceed, as we get ready to face the weekend. For those who are tempted to go to these BYOB places, to go to restaurants that are turning themselves into bars, for bars who are attempting to stay open when you should be closed, for people who engage in activities with large gatherings, more than 10, whether outside or inside, house parties, whether in the backyard, in the swimming pool, or inside, those activities should be a no-no in the city of Houston. And until our behavior change, this virus is going to be around. And everyone is going to be impacted. Businesses are going to be impacted because people are not going to want to go inside and patronize them. Parents are going to be confused about school. And athletes will be playing in the stadiums and in the fields all by themselves. Unless we dramatically change our behavior and starve this virus of the energy that it needs. And quite frankly, at this point in time with these numbers, we shouldn't have to wait on the governor or anybody else to hit the reset button. We ought to have enough information for us to hit the reset button ourselves. And we need to hit the reset button. We must change our behavior dramatically such that we do not repeat in August what we are seeing in the month of July. And we have squandered already all the gains that we achieved in the months of March and April.